Red Hat Academy partnership comes with a host of valuable benefits that are sure to enable students to stay ahead of the curve in the rapidly evolving IT industry. Our offering has everything your institution needs to succeed. We will now guide you through the benefits. To make education accessible to everyone, Red Hat Academy offers its academic partners a valuable opportunity to utilize a comprehensive learning content for no cost. To start and gain access to the content, simply log in to the Red Hat Academy learning platform that unifies all Red Hat teaching tools in one easily used interface. With our standardized learning materials and cloud hands-on labs, students will learn how to automate software deployment, manage large-scale cloud infrastructures, troubleshoot system issues, and implement security protocols. With instructor enablement resources, instructors enhance their knowledge and teaching skills to create a holistic teaching program that involves and excites students. Red Hat Academy Talent Network connects students who have completed Red Hat training with employers from Red Hat and our partners around the world. Red Hat Academy Comprehensive Instructor Enablement Support Program is developed for instructors looking to stay up to date with the latest IT skills. Our offering helps instructors gain the skills and knowledge needed to lead students to success. We provide a variety of comprehensive instructor resources, such as self-paced video training, instructor guides and mentoring sessions, assistance with tailoring educational content, and access to our global community of educators. When you think back to your formal education and first job, you'll remember that there was a sizable gap between theory and reality. Red Hat Academy bridges that gap. Our program is committed to helping lay a strong foundation for future careers in the IT industry. It will equip students with the necessary skills and knowledge to thrive in the fast-paced and competitive IT world. Curriculum is in line with industry standards, and we focus on the latest trends in open-source software. Students will gain hands-on experience with cutting-edge IT tools, giving them the confidence and ability to succeed in today's job market. In addition, by joining Red Hat Academy, students open doors to a wealth of career opportunities with Red Hat, our partners and customers. But what really sets us apart is our dedication to prepare students with foundational skills. With our rigorous and relevant education, students will gain practical experience, improve technical skills, and prepare for real-world scenarios. Curriculum covers a comprehensive range of courses in Linux, containers, Ansible, Python, and Java. Our industry-leading courses and expert instructors provide the confidence and ability required to excel. Our commitment to accessible learning is reflected in the availability of our courses in 10 different languages. Red Hat Academy has got you covered. Learning is more than just about acquiring knowledge. Our program creates a supportive and collaborative environment that provides your institution with tailored marketing materials, association with Red Hat's brand, and exclusive access to the learning community that helps students and instructors grow both personally and professionally. But the benefits of the Red Hat Academy program don't end there. Our courses are recognized by industry leaders and can help you earn certifications that will boost your career prospects and earning potential. Take advantage of this exclusive offer and validate your skills with our discounted certification exams. With a discount of 75% for instructors and 50% for students, you can take your career to the next level with a smaller financial burden. Students that take Red Hat courses through this program are developing the skills and qualities that many employers are looking for. The Red Hat Academy Talent Network offers an opportunity to students in order to expand their brand to organizations seeking to fill jobs and internships. Our goal with this talent network is to create a pipeline for Red Hat, our customers and partners, to provide the best job candidates to fill job roles at these companies. So why Red Hat Academy? Because it offers a range of benefits that help academic institutions, instructors, and students succeed in the technology industry. With Red Hat Academy, you'll be prepared for whatever the future holds. Join us, and let's make the future of IT education brighter together. Welcome to our Red Hat Academy Instructor Readiness, Training, and Certification series. In this video, we will demonstrate how to benefit from our comprehensive instructor training resources we offer, and how to stay up to date with the latest IT skills and developments. The key commitment of being an instructor is to be equipped with the knowledge of the latest technology trends and learn how to provide students with skills and comprehension to help them meet the needs of the fast-paced IT industry. In Red Hat Academy, we offer a variety of instructor self-service resources. These include comprehensive self-paced video training, instructor guides, and access to our global community of educators. Simply log into the Red Hat Academy learning platform to gain access to all of these resources to enhance your knowledge and teaching skills for courses in this program. One way to create a dynamic and effective classroom environment is by providing your students with hands-on experience using the open-source technologies you're teaching. At Red Hat Academy, we offer a lab environment where students can practice and apply what they have learned in a safe and controlled environment. Moreover, a lab environment is available to complement the theory and provide you with a practical experience. With this self-paced training and lab environment, you can benefit from a comprehensive learning experience that includes both theory and real application. And if you're looking for additional learning resources, we offer a vast collection of online ebooks that can help you to create engaging and immersive learning experiences for your students to be successful. As a Red Hat Academy instructor, before teaching your first class, we encourage you to take advantage of our self-paced video training for each of our open-source technologies, taught by subject matter experts in the field. These videos are designed to match the page numbers in the accompanying book, so you can easily follow along with the content in both resources. In addition, we have a resources section that has instructor guides for all the course content we offer. These guides provide detailed information on how to manage the class lectures and activities, and should be used in parallel with our formal self-paced video training to enhance your understanding and knowledge. Please don't hesitate to reach out to your regional Red Hat Academy representative if you need further guidance. They will provide additional support and resources, including live training conducted by subject matter experts. With these tools and resources at your disposal, you will be well equipped to create engaging and effective learning experiences for your students. If you're already teaching with Red Hat Academy, we encourage you to stay up to date with the latest releases and updates to the curriculum by following our course release announcements through our learning platform, learning community and educators group posts, or update notifications via email. You will be able to stay informed of any changes or new features that have been added to the open-source technologies covered in the curriculum. This will ensure that you're always delivering the most relevant information to your students. At Red Hat Academy, we believe that certification is an important step in preparing instructors to teach our open-source technologies. Our instructor certification program includes a rigorous exam that tests instructors' mastery of the technology being taught and provides them with the confidence and credentials needed to effectively guide their students through the course materials. While the importance of certification for instructors may vary depending on the organization and the specific technology being taught, we believe that it can be a valuable way for instructors to demonstrate their expertise and ensure that they are providing their students with the best possible learning experience. So if you're considering teaching Red Hat Academy courses, we encourage you to explore our instructor certification program and take advantage of the benefits it provides. If you're interested in becoming Red Hat certified, be sure to meet the eligibility criteria and take advantage of this valuable opportunity to advance your teaching career with 75% discount on selected Red Hat certification exams. To be eligible for the instructor certification exam, you'll need to have taught at least one Red Hat Academy class within the past 12 months, with a class size of 5 students or more, and with student progress registered. The eligibility criteria validation process is automated on our learning platform. Once you've met these eligibility criteria, you'll be able to order the exam on this page. Following this action, you will receive an email that will guide you through the scheduling and exam readiness process. As a Red Hat Academy instructor, you're part of a global community of educators who are passionate about open-source technology and committed to helping their students succeed. And on the Red Hat Learning community, you'll find exclusive resources and spaces that are tailored specifically to the needs of Red Hat Academy instructors. One of the most valuable resources available to you is the Red Hat Academy Educators Group. This is a dedicated space where you can connect with other instructors from around the world, share your knowledge and experience, and get guidance and support from your peers. Whether you're looking for advice on teaching techniques, troubleshooting a technical issue, or just want to connect with other like-minded educators, the Red Hat Academy Educators Group is the perfect place to do it. To join the group, simply visit the webpage following this link and sign in to request access. Please allow for 1 to 2 business days for your request to be approved. Take advantage of Red Hat Academy's comprehensive instructor training now and enhance your ability to provide students with the necessary skills to succeed in the fast-paced IT industry.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, from wherever you happen to be watching this recording. My name is Rob Locke. I'm a Senior Solutions Architect with the Red Hat Training and Certification team. And what I'd like to do is to take a few moments of your time to talk about the different learning paths. These are a part of our community social responsibility outreach. And we are looking to provide a better understanding of the portfolio that Red Hat has available in today's IT landscape. So along those lines, what I want to do is identify a little bit about how the courseware that's available through these two programs actually ties to job descriptions. This curriculum can be broken into 4 distinct job categories. The first and traditional one for us is that of basic system administration. How do I go about administering Linux systems in that IT landscape? The second job role is that of DevOps. There has been a change in how developers work with our IT infrastructure. And this idea of a more agile nature and being able to provide continuous integration and continuous delivery or continuous deployment relies on automation. And so we have a job role focused there. But then, as I was talking about agile, this brings us to a next generation of application development. This idea of being able to create what we would term cloud native applications. The implementation of things like microservices. And so an introduction to that is our third job role. And then finally, as part of those microservices, we all began deploying containers as an alternate way to distribute our applications. And so as we go to deploy those containers and manage them across both private and public clouds, how do we go about administering and managing those containers at scale in that hybrid cloud infrastructure? So these are the 4 basic job roles that we'll be going through. So let's start with the first one, basic system administration. As I implied earlier, this really is about the Linux operating system. So let's take a look at a graphic here of the big open hybrid cloud, how that next generation of applications is coming into play. Whether it be applications there on the right that you've built in Java or other software as a service applications. They might be apps running on bare metal, they might be apps in VMs, but these are your applications. There's also a huge, extensive partner ecosystem that's tying into all of this, running on top of your cloud or hardware footprint. And so as you look at your infrastructure there on the right, what I have on the left are the tools that you can see really ties into the 4 job roles that we're going to be talking about. And so let's start with that Linux operating system down at sort of the floor, the foundation of everything else. You know, reality is for us these days is that Linux ultimately is everywhere. It has support for those open hybrid cloud applications, whether you're running them in your data center, out in the cloud, or all the way to the edge. You know, Linux is deployed in your data center on bare metal, virtualized instances, and it might be on the traditional Intel architectures that we started with Linux, but we also extend that to IBM Power Systems or IBM System Z mainframes. So being able to run Linux in your data center. But as we go to expand our horizons and put either virtual machine images into the cloud or our container images into that cloud. This idea of being able to build once and deploy anywhere, Linux provides that foundation. You know, I've been mentioning container a few times. Reality is, container is simply a lightweight Linux for us to be working with. By the way, those images might be images that you're creating for the cloud, or they might be images that you are obtaining from the marketplace that cloud provider is offering you. And then lastly here, we've got this running all the way out to the edge. Whether you're talking the new 5G technology for telecom providers or those in-vehicle systems that are managing and becoming much more complex, well, we've got Linux running under the hood there too. So ultimately, Linux is everywhere, but let's talk a little bit about what are we talking in terms of system administration. I mean, a lot of people sit here and go, well, I'm just a user of technology. I don't administer that technology, but the fact of the matter is everyone does. I mean, look at your cell phone, for example. On your cell phone, what do? You go to the store and you add applications, remove applications from your phone. You apply updates to that phone for vulnerabilities. Every once in a while, when you're running out of space on that phone, what do? You go through the set of packages and you start removing the ones. You're auditing those packages. When your phone, you take it into your favorite eating establishment or store that you happen to be going to, or maybe a hotel you're staying in. What do? You connect that phone to the local network. You're configuring networking. And as you start configuring networking in those public spaces, what do you start worrying about? You start worrying about the security of that phone. You start worrying about what people might be able to access. Some of us implement VPNs on our phones for security purposes. And then when something goes wrong, well, think about that computer you have at home. As you look inside that system, you are looking and trying to figure out what sort of activity is going on. I mean, on a Microsoft Windows system or a Mac system, you might be bringing up the proverbial task manager to see what's taking all the CPU time. Why is it running so slow? You know, on Windows, it's a simple right-click, bring up the task manager, and I can see what's going on that system. And so we all do these things with operating systems all the time. There's nothing particularly different about Linux as an operating system. You're going to be doing all of these same things. But what we talk about with system administration is formally, how is it done and perhaps designed a little bit differently for a Red Hat Enterprise Linux system that you're supporting. And so we have two courses, RH 124, entitled Red Hat System Administration 1, that goes through and shows you how to first gain access to that system. I mean, the simple, how do I log in? For some Linux systems, you might have a graphical desktop. So most of us can hunt around and find applications in those. But as you start looking at instances of Linux that are residing in the cloud or remote servers in a data center, well, I don't necessarily bring up a graphical environment on those. What I do is I go in and access the command line. And most of the administrative tasks that we teach and show you in these courses is how to accomplish them from the command line, because I can bring up that command prompt in the graphical environment, or I can have it as I'm remotely accessing that system. In fact, remote access is normally done in the protocol called SSH. Allows me to establish a secure tunnel to that remote system and be typing in commands to perform operations. Another sort of big topic here for folks to get used to is, how do I go about editing text files from a command line prompt? It's not the same as bringing up Notepad or WordPad or whatever we're calling it these days. It has me bringing up an environment that really is entirely text-based. And so how do I use a tool like VI, the visual interface to the editor? How do I manage security, the local users and groups of this system? How do I control access to which files stored on this system different users might have access to? How do I manage the networking, as we talked about previously, as a standard thing to need to do? How do I install and update packages? So all of those traditional tasks we've all done on different operating systems, we'll go through here in System Administration 1 to see how to do it on Red Hat Enterprise Linux. This is about 40 hours of content. And in that content, it's not only the text and presentation of this information, but every one of these chapters has a number of hands-on exercises. Because let's face it, that's how most of us are going to learn this content, is by actually doing it in a prescribed environment. The second course for System Administration is RH-134, aptly named Red Hat System Administration 2. With this one, we're going to really take it up a notch and truly move into managing larger items, really for an enterprise. How do I improve my command line productivity? How do I tune the system performance? How do I connect it to enterprise storage? Or, as it says here, control the boot process. How do I recover a system that we've lost access to? In fact, the last two chapters here have us finally taking a look at the installation process and how we might be able to automate that installation process with a facility called Kickstart. And then lastly, as we start looking at those cloud-native applications, we're looking to run those inside containers. And so we can begin to see the relationship of Linux and those containers as they're introduced here at the tail end of System Administration 2. This is another 40 hours of content. Now, it's not enough to just take this content, try to digest it, perform the exercises and that sort of thing. What we all want to be able to do and prove to our employer or prospective employer is that we have validated those skills. And so built on top of those two courses is the Red Hat Certified System Administrator designation, proven by passing the exam EX200. This allows you to validate your knowledge across system administration environments and deployment scenarios. Now, some things about the exams that we provide. All of our exams are performance-based. So this is not some form of multiple guess. Were you able to memorize certain facts and figures? This is about being presented with an end result solution and you proving that you can get there. You know, the fun part is if it's asking me to, I don't know, create a user, I honestly don't care how you happen to do it. The course is going to teach you a command line utility called user add. But If you want to install the graphical environment and go ahead and use a graphical tool we have called System Config Users, that might work for you. You could also do the step that user add performs on the back end. You could manually edit the text file, etc password, manually edit etc shadow where the password is stored, manually edit etc group where the group name is stored, and then go off and make the user's home directory and deposit the appropriate starting skeleton files into that home directory. Again, I don't care how you get to that end result, as long as when the exam is over, that system matches the specification that we've given you. And of course, the help that we've chosen you how to look up information is available there. No, you don't have Google, all right? You can't be searching the internet for answers. But the help that is built into these command line tools and documentation pages that are built in to Red Hat Enterprise Linux are all available to you in that exam environment. The other thing we do is that all of our exams are live proctored, ensuring that you are the one actually performing these tasks, because we are then granting you a certification designation. And so we want to maintain the highest level of integrity and security around that exam. Now, I know for a lot of folks, the very first performance-based exam can bring a lot of anxiety. And so one of the things we've introduced in 2023 is this idea of a free exam retake. And so with each exam purchase, you basically get 2 shots. So you can worry a little bit less about that first shot. Just make sure you're paying a lot of attention to what you were experiencing in that exam. And while your second seating of the exam will not be identical, it will have all of the same themes, all of the same exam objectives, all of the same goals of things that you need to prove you're able to do. Our second category of learning paths that we provide through these programs is around automation and management. You know, as I go to do these system administration tasks, me managing a single system and going ahead and performing those tasks are great, but how do I do this at scale? How do I do this across a lot of servers, a lot of virtual machine instances, a lot of cloud instances? Well, I need to look at automation. And Red Hat provides an automation product that is looking to solve this challenge that so many organizations are facing. You know, it's not just about the systems that I need to automate and manage at scale. It's also those network devices, those firewalls, those applications that my developers are creating. In fact, I want to be able to automate the deployment process of those applications. I want to be able to automate the redeployment and upgrade of my underlying infrastructure. The reality, though, is that each of these silos, there are just too many unintegrated domain-specific tools, and a growing number of use cases as technology has become the center for almost every organization out there, managing them across all the different platforms, locations, and domains. How do I bring all of this together? Where do we want to go? We need to break down the silos. We need to reduce toil. You know, those things that you do every day in a repetitive fashion, there's got to be a way to automate that. By being able to integrate all of these disparate platforms together into a unified platform. Being able to write automation code that is consistent across my enterprise and across my subject matter experts across these different domains, and allowing me to have more complete governance of the entire infrastructure. So we take a look at, as a course available through this program, we take one of our foundation courses around Ansible, the Ansible automation platform, which is our automation solution. And we take a look at automating Red Hat Enterprise Linux, specifically those administration tasks that we learned in Sysadmin 1 and Sysadmin 2 and proved and earned our RHCSA. In this course, we introduce you to Ansible. We introduce you to how to write that automation code. And one of the beauties of Ansible is how simple the language is. It's text-based. It's just some simple indentation, YAML formatting. You can implement an Ansible playbook, and I could be a network admin looking at some sysadmin's playbook and go, oh, I understand what it's trying to do, even though I don't know anything about system administration. The simplification of an understanding in a common language across all these domains. And so RH294 takes you through performing and understanding the foundation of Ansible. Of course, being able to validate those skills is available in the exam EX294. Pass this exam coupled with the RHCSA, and you are a Red Hat certified engineer. So this becomes the second exam needed for that designation. It's still performance-based, it's still live proctored, you still get that free exam retake. But this is allowing you to prove an ability to manage a number of systems, Linux systems, with Ansible, and be able to use that content, that code that you're creating, in a reusable fashion, the whole purpose of automation. Our third area we wanted to take a look at is that of cloud native development. So what exactly are we talking about here? Well, again, these are the developer tools from my picture of the open hybrid cloud. The path to cloud native applications, step one is this sort of culture and practice shift. This idea of more agile development, the idea of being able to continuously integrate and improve the application and continuously deploy and deliver that application out to the world. It requires a change in process. And so we need to evolve our culture and practices to be more agile and less waterfall. We can speed our existing applications by compartmentalizing them into pieces, otherwise known as microservices. By implementing microservices, those individual microservices can be very focused on what they need to do, be optimized to provide the greatest performance possible to perform that particular task. But it also allows you to choose the right tool for the right task. We want to tie in automation so that we can more easily do the delivery part, the deployment part of these applications. And by evolving a more modular architecture, it allows our applications to truly scale. While it might start as a small application with few users, the hope for all of us, of course, is that this application grows and has lots of users and lots of uses. As part of that design, application architecture and design here on the left has us introducing microservices, but it has more modeling practices built into this. But notice one of the keys is the use of containers to make it easy to deploy. That automation for development and delivery so we can get it out to the deployment environment, but then pull in the feedback and metrics by having designed that into our applications. So the next generation of applications really changing how we're doing it, but relying on containers. You know, the beauty of containers is that they standardize some things. So what exactly does a container do that's different? So on the left here, you've got your traditional application model, what we term monolithic these days. It's a single app. If the app needs more resources, I get a bigger system, a physical system, and put the app on that. In fact, as we would consolidate down to fewer systems, we would then put multiple apps onto a single system. But now an errant app can affect other apps. And you know, apps aren't just the app themselves, they use libraries. And so if the libraries change, that can have an effect on the other apps. So what many of us did a couple of decades ago is we started implementing virtual machines. And with virtual machines, we would then have each app in its own virtual machine. However, we have to maintain a guest operating system in each virtual machine. And so all of the things related to that guest operating system need to be managed and maintained. And these virtual machines were not particularly portable. I couldn't run them in other environments without some migration going on and update. They also were quite large because you've got a whole guest operating system inside that virtual machine. So what we're looking at is the shift towards containers. And the beauty of containers is that the container simply has the app and any supporting and runtime files inside that container. These containers are now measured in megabytes. But what we've done is that the host operating system layer has implemented some controls to segregate those containers. The containers are a standard specification. I mean, most of the presentations you may watch on containers have that image of those big, rectangular shipping crates that you see on ships, but they're always the same size. And so by having this sort of fixed structure around whatever I'm putting inside the container, makes it easy for us to deploy. This is not us playing Tetris when we're going on vacation by trying to pack stuff into the back of the car. All of the containers are the same size. It's very easy to declare and build a ship to handle a certain number of containers. And then we can move that container from a ship to a rail line. We can move that container to the back of a truck. All right, all of these things because of that standardization. And that standardization also allows us to be able to run the container on our local hardware or in the cloud. So how do I get introduced to containers and the basics? Well, we gave you a little introduction in System Administration 2 in RH 134. But to be honest with you, if you're a developer, you don't really want to know all of that system administration stuff. That's not your area that you're focusing on. But you really want to understand the containers themselves and how to build your own custom containers. And so DO 188 goes in depth into containers. And we actually have you implementing those containers on your local desktop using Podman. Some of you may have heard of another command called Docker. Docker is just another command line tool for managing containers on a local system. We've chosen to go with the open source form known as Podman. And so we'll give you some basics about Podman. We'll take a look at building those containers, troubleshooting them, even having multi-container applications. But as you start thinking about the big picture, how do I orchestrate all of these containers as they're moving in my open hybrid cloud, scaling up and scaling out? That's where OpenShift and Kubernetes come into play. We'll talk more about that in our fourth job role. But we'll give you an introduction to OpenShift and Kubernetes coming out of DO 188 here. And of course, we need to validate those skills too, right? So there is an EX 188, which offers you the designation of becoming a Red Hat certified specialist in containers. And it allows you to prove that you know how to build a container, work with containers, all right, in a standalone environment. Still performance-based, still live proctored, still get a free retake. So our last job role we wanted to take a look at is that of hybrid cloud administration. You know, as we are looking at trying to manage all of these containers across the entire hybrid cloud environment, we introduced a technology called Kubernetes. Kubernetes allows me to manage and orchestrate those containers. You know, is this container getting overloaded? Let's create another one. And we can divide the load between those containers. Container orchestration is done there with Kubernetes. We at Red Hat offer a supported form of the Kubernetes engine, and we term it Red Hat OpenShift Kubernetes Engine. But the reality is, as we've been talking about cloud native applications and such, there's a whole bunch of other stuff that we want to build on top of that. How do I manage my workloads, the builds? How do I integrate GitOps into this environment for automated CI/CD? How do I manage the APIs that I'm introducing with my various microservices and integrate and pass the messages between those containers? How do I provide the data services underneath that, the other developer services that are needed? All of that is the add-ons that then have us looking at Red Hat OpenShift Container Platform, providing you with an even greater ability to manage these containers. So we have DO 180, OpenShift Administration 1, where we are managing containers with Kubernetes. Now, I do want to be careful here. We had an earlier form of this course, which actually was quite similar to DO 188. With the new version, 4.12 of DO 180, we have separated the job roles. So DO 188 that we've just looked at, that is focused on container basics, the container fundamentals, how developers go about creating containers, and a little taste of how they'll be pushed into OpenShift. DO 180 here, OpenShift administration, is starting with the OpenShift cluster, with a description of Kubernetes, an understanding of orchestration that's needed for managing these containers. And so you'll see how you can run some existing applications as containers, and a new term that gets introduced called pods. And we can see how we can manage the networking and the storage related to these, configure those applications for reliability. But all of that here in DO 180. It is a large departure from what DO 180 was before. So those job roles that we were talking about, we're talking about having developer tools for building that next generation of applications. We're talking about automation to be able to properly deploy those applications and manage the infrastructure of our environment in an automated, consistent, and governed way. We have management platform of those applications with Kubernetes across an open hybrid cloud, which runs on top of a Linux operating system and your cloud or hardware footprint. So, in summary, here are the courses, the learning paths we have tied to each of these 4 basic job descriptions. With these 4 learning paths, you can ultimately earn 4 different designations: Red Hat Certified System Administrator, Red Hat Certified Engineer, a Red Hat Certified Specialist in Containers, or a Red Hat Certified OpenShift Administrator. These are the foundational skills needed in today's IT landscape. These are skills that are needed by lots of different job titles. I pulled these from a recent Indeed.com article. My favorite, of course, are the 4 along the bottom, the ones that I feel like I've done over the years in IT. I've been a Linux engineer, I've been an automation engineer, a network engineer, and a site reliability engineer. So, thank you for spending a little bit of time with me today. I hope I've been able to correlate what we are offering through Red Hat Academy and in terms of the different types of job roles we are focused on providing that introduction to. Have a great rest of your day.
As far as roles and responsibilities go, the Red Hat Academy Administrator, which is the page we're seeing now, has the ability to manage classes and see all the courses that are currently being offered by the instructors at their school. They can manage Academy instructors, and this is where they can add or remove instructors. They have access to resources, give feedback, and get support. As an instructor, instructors have access to manage classes, where they'll be able to see the classes that they have created. They will not be able to see other instructors' courses, but only the ones that they have created themselves. They'll have access to resources, view courses and certifications, which outlines the courses that are currently offered through Red Hat Academy and the certifications. And then get trained and certified, where they can access the self-paced courses in order to understand how the courses are being taught by Red Hat instructors, give feedback, and get support. As the Red Hat Academy Administrator, you will need to add yourself as an instructor in order to get instructor privileges. In order to do that, you're going to click Manage Academy Instructors on the left side. Then you will click Add. And in the Red Hat Network ID field, you're going to put the same username that you see in the top right corner. Then you'll add the email associated with it and click Save. Once you have added it, you'll see that your name is populated, and then your user account right there, the RHN ID has been added, and then the date joins. Now we must refresh the page in order for you to be able to toggle between administrator and instructor. So in the top right corner, go ahead and click your username, log out. You'll have to click log out again. And once you've done that, you'll have to log back in. And now that you've done that, you will navigate to the top right corner and click on your username, and then you'll be able to change your account roles. You'll be able to toggle between Academy Admin and Log and Instructor. And there you go. As the Red Hat Academy Administrator, you will be responsible for adding instructors to the platform. Instructors will first need to navigate to redhat.com to create an account and then share their username and email with you. In order to add an instructor, you will navigate to the Manage Academy Instructors on the left side. You will then click Add, and then where it says Red Hat Network ID, that is the username that they just created, and then you'll add the email that is associated with it. Once you put in those two fields, you'll click Save, and then you'll see that that instructor has been added. You'll see their name and then their Red Hat Network ID username. And then your instructors will receive an email notifying them that they have now been added. As a Red Hat Academy instructor, in order to create a course, you'll navigate to Manage Classes on the left side. You will scroll down to Create Class. First, you will select the course that you will be teaching. So for this instance, we will be teaching System Administration 1. Then you will select class type is instructor-led training. Then you will add the date range. Just for today's example, we'll do July 1st to the 31st and hit done. Next, you will need to add your students. In order to do that, students will need to create their redhat.com accounts first before you add them. You'll have the ability to add them using a CSV template for a bulk upload, or you can add the students individually right here. We're going to leave that blank for today. Next, you're going to need a custom label. So I will name this course Test Course. Then, you'll need to select the percentage in which your students need to achieve to receive their certificate of attendance. And here I will select 75%, and then I will hit Create. Once I create the class, I can scroll up, and I will now see the class here at the top, where I can click into it. In the event that you need to manage the course and you need to edit it or you need to add students, what you'll do is navigate to Manage Classes on the left side. Then you'll select the tile with the class, and then you can select Edit Class. Once you're in there, you'll select Class Type as Instructor-Led, and then you'll make the appropriate edits that you need to make. Additionally, you can see that the student bulk upload is still available. Also, the adding students individually is available. Once you do that, all you do is click Update, and the update should be there. As a Red Hat Academy instructor, should you want to take advantage of the 75% off discount you get on exams, you will take the following steps to request that discount. You will click Get Trained and Certified on the left side. You will scroll down to where it says Certification Exams and click the exam that you would like to take. Then, on the right side, you will click Request Promo Code. In this instance, this user is not eligible yet, but once you are eligible and you click Request Promo Code, it will send you an automated email notifying you of the discount, and the discount will be applied to your account automatically. Then, you'll navigate to redhat.com for the training and services, all courses and exams, and then you will search for the certification or exam that you're looking for. Once you do that, you'll click into the exam. You'll click Get Started, and the checkout process will begin, and the discount should be reflected in there. As an instructor, you will have access to our video classroom training where you will see the courses taught by Red Hat instructors. In order to access that, you will navigate to the Get Trained and Certified tab on the left side. And then within that, you will have different tiles which indicate the different courses. So we're going to click into the Red Hat System Administration 1, RH124. Within this course, you will see that you have the table of contents, which is the textbook, which is also here in the course. You will also see that you'll have the video classroom content, which is right here if you click the down arrow on the right side. If you hit the play button, you will then see a Red Hat instructor teaching the course. Additionally, you also have the lab environment. If you click that tab, it will take you to the lab environment where you will need to hit create to launch the environment. Once the labs are done spinning up, you now have access to them and can use the course textbook to follow the lab instructions. On the right side, you will see it says watch tutorial. It is very important that you watch that in order to understand how the lab environments work. As a Red Hat Academy student, when you log in, you'll automatically be taken to My Courses. Within that page, you have the ability to access the courses that you have been enrolled in. For instance, Red Hat System Administration 1 9.0 is a course that I am enrolled in. In order to launch that, I will click Launch on the right side. This will automatically take me to the HTML version of the textbook. So as you can see, I am in the textbook on the tab that says Courses. I can click Next and it will take me through the textbook. Additionally, I can click Table of Contents, where it will show me the chapters and the different sections within the textbook. And you can click any of these in order to be taken to those pages. Next, you have the lab environment. If you click lab environment, it will take you to the lab environment where it's very important that you watch the tutorial on the right side. So click this watch tutorial button to have a full understanding of how to create and stop your lab environment. And finally, should you not want to utilize the free HTML of the textbook and you want to purchase a textbook, what you'll do is you'll navigate back to Access Courses and Assignments. Then you'll select Online Books and then Buy Course Book. It will take you to a third-party vendor who sells our book. Just as a friendly reminder, the book is already available to you at no cost through an HTML format, so it is not required of you to buy this book, and it is available in the course tab as we already went over. You and your school are interested in participating at Adopt an Academy where Red Hat associates volunteer to work with schools, you will navigate to the Manage Academy Instructors tab. You will scroll down and click I'm interested. That will then notify your regional Red Hat Academy representative and they will reach out shortly to follow up with you on that. In the event that you need to open a support case, you will do the following. On the left side, you will click Get Support, open a support case, and then you will fill out the fields appropriately. You'll notice that it will allow you to pick the different courses that we offer. It will also allow you to pick your specific courses that are in your course offerings or under the managed classes, and then what level of support you'll need. Once you submit this, it will help our support team better support you and investigate the issue.